If your lawn suddenly has weird patches, pink areas, orange dust, or spots that simply look like they're dying, don't panic. Most homeowners out there immediately assume that they're having issues with drought or they need to throw more fertilizer at it. But before you start watering all the time or going out there and buying expensive products, just hold on and wait a second. You might actually be dealing with a lawn disease. On today's episode, I'm going to show you the 6 most common lawn diseases that I see and how to identify them, what causes them, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. One of the easiest lawn diseases to identify is red thread. This may look like someone literally threw pink cotton candy all over your lawn. It's going to be most prominent in the morning when there's a little bit of moisture and dew on the grass blades. You'll open your door, get out on your lawn, and notice a little pink hue to these spots all across your lawn. And with closer inspection, if you go up and look at the grass blades, you actually see little pink threads growing out of the top of your grass blades. This is why it's called red thread. What those are is actually the mycelium that the fungus creates to try to reproduce itself. Now, luckily, this disease is purely cosmetic. In most cases, it is not going to kill off your turf. It is possible that if it gets a really bad infestation or your lawn gets hit with something else while it's infected, then you could start losing some turf. But overall, I would not lose sleep over red thread. It's just going to make your lawn look a little strange for a couple of weeks. So, what causes red thread? Well, like any other fungal disease, you need proper conditions for it to start to grow. So, with red thread, that is cool to mild summer days and nights and consistent, steady moisture always on the grass. So, if we've been cooler at night, very humid during the day, this is perfect conditions for red thread to start to develop. Now, most importantly, what can you do to fix red thread? Well, like I said, you could just not do anything and let it kind of fix itself over time. The grass will grow out of it and your lawn will look just fine within a couple weeks once the weather conditions change. But if you do want to speed up the recovery of your lawn, then one of the best things you can do, just like a lot of different fungal diseases, is make sure that you're watering properly. You want to make sure that you're watering in the mornings so that your lawn has time to dry out during the day. And make sure that you are only watering 2 to 3 times per week and as deeply as you possibly can. The goal is to get 1 inch to 1.5 inches of moisture down on your lawn every single week. And to do that in as few waterings as possible. I have mentioned it before in a few past videos, but an easy way to tell how long to water is to put a can out in your lawn as you're watering and water for, say, 15 minutes. Then measure how much water you have collected in that can. And the goal is to do about 1/2 inch of water down every single time you're watering your lawn. So if you gained about 1/4 inch in 15 minutes, that tells you that I want to water for 30 minutes every time I water. And like I said, 2 to 3 times per week. Make sure that you're watering in the morning. Make sure that your mower blades are nice and sharp so you're not tearing that grass blade off and you're actually giving it a nice clean cut. And you can put down a little fertilizer to speed up the growth of your grass and grow out the damage. I would recommend making sure to choose a fertilizer that's got a little bit of slow release in it. You don't want to just dump a ton of nitrogen down and cause a huge amount of flush growth, because that could open you up to different types of lawn diseases as the weeks go on. I would choose something that has some slow release in it. You want to get a little bit of fast release nitrogen to really pop that grass and start the growth so the red thread disease grows out. But also you want the rest of that nitrogen in the bag to slowly release over time and not give you that huge influx of nitrogen. Now, maybe you were dealing with something where you're out mowing your lawn and you can see dust kind of fly up as you're cutting your grass. Or you look down at your mower tires and they've got an orange film around them. Or maybe your shoes are covered in what looks like an orange dust. This is evidence of rust. Rust is a very common summer lawn disease that we see every single year. It is caused by slow growing, stressed out turf. So, what is one of the ways that you can try to alleviate the symptoms of rust? Well, just like red thread, throw down some fertilizer. In this case, again, I want some fast release, some slow release. The slow release is not really to help the rust, but it's to avoid causing other issues down the line with other lawn diseases that can really thrive on fast releases of nitrogen. So if you got that orange dust in your lawn, again, make sure that you're watering in the morning. That's true of all lawn diseases. And give it a little kick of nitrogen, and you should see the rust symptoms go away within the next couple weeks. And now on to dollar spot, another big one for cool season grasses during the summer. Dollar spot loves hot, humid weather and cool nights, which is exactly what we're dealing with right now where I live in Minnesota. Very classic symptom of dollar spot is you're going to start to see your lawn kind of tan colored, start to look like it's under drought stress or some heat stress. And you may think to yourself, well, I just need to push more water on top of it, try to get this drought stress out. But it's a good idea to go take a look at the grass blades before you do this to see if you actually are dealing with dollar spot. A very easy way to identify dollar spot is you want to look at the grass blade. What you'll see on the grass blade is bullseye, oblong-shaped lesions on the blade. They'll have a dark ring on the outside of the lesion, and the blade can also seem like it's been kind of cinched or pinched, almost like a belt tighten around it too tightly. This definitely means that you're dealing with dollar spot. So how do you fix dollar spot? Well, again, you can avoid a lot of these issues by making sure you're always watering in the morning. You're going to hear me say that for every single one of these segments. Watering in the morning is one of the best things that you can do for your lawn. You do not want excess moisture hanging around on the grass blade for long periods of time. And I'll mention it again. Make sure that you have sharp mowing blades. If your blades are dull, you're going to be tearing that grass blade apart instead of cutting it, which is going to stress out the grass and open it up and make it more susceptible to getting infected with these lawn diseases. And for dollar spots, just like red thread and rust, you can throw some fertilizer at it. Some slow release fertilizer will slowly increase the nitrogen levels in your soil, which will help alleviate the symptoms of dollar spots. And over time, your grass will grow out the damage and it's going to be looking just fine. Just like rust and red thread, dollar spot is mainly cosmetic. It's not going to attack the crowns or the roots of your grass plant. So do not panic. Don't freak out. Just give it some time and patience and it will be just fine. Next up is brown patch, another very common lawn disease you see in cool season grasses. Now, this one will start as these brown / purplish circles in your lawn. They may start as just a few inches and then grow over time. They can get as large as a few feet in diameter. These, again, are mainly cosmetic. They're just attacking the blades of your grass. Unless it gets stressed out by other things, your grass will do just fine. It should bounce back once conditions change and it has time to grow out the damage. Brown patch, again, loves hot, humid weather. So perfect time in June, July, and even August to see brown patch going crazy on people's lawns. Good way of identifying it is, again, that brown purplish color that the grass will turn, or very early in the morning, you could also start to see kind of a smoke ring along the edges. This is the white mycelium growth that the fungal disease creates to try to spread itself across the lawn. To fix this one, it just takes time. There is nothing you can really do. You don't want to put down nitrogen. If you put down more fertilizer, you can actually exacerbate the problem and make brown patch look worse. So just make sure that you're watering in the morning. Make sure your grass plant isn't staying wet for long periods during the day. Make sure that your mower has nice sharp blades. And just like all these lawn diseases, if it's only in one area of your lawn, a good idea would be to bag the clippings when you're cutting your grass in those areas. And then before you move on to your good areas, wash down your mower blades and underneath the deck to make sure you're minimizing the amount of spread that you're going to do when you're cutting your grass. This will help localize these problems and not spread them across your entire lawn. But brown patch, just have some patience. Don't put any fertilizer down and make sure you're watering properly. It will go away on its own. Now onto one that could actually cause some damage just by itself to your grass plant. This is summer patch. It's going to start out as small straw-colored circles that are going to expand and merge together. Okay. Now this is going to look a lot like drought stress and heat stress. So how do you identify it? Well, I would get out there and pull up some of that grass or dig some up. You want to look at the roots. The roots on summer patch are going to look rotted, dark, and shrunk. This is because this is a root and crown disease. It starts down in the roots and then moves up, and you see the damage in the leaf blade. This is why it could actually start to kill off your grass, because it's killing the crowns and the roots of your grass plant, not just the blades. Again, there's not much you can do to alleviate the problems once they've already started. So the best course of action is to try to prevent summer patch from ever taking hold in your lawn. You can do this by making sure that you're promoting good soil health. To improve your soil health, I would recommend using organic fertilizers. There are a lot of soil additives that you can put down that are going to increase your microorganisms and increase the overall health of your soil. Aerations, top dressing with some compost, basically any kind of product or practice that's going to decompact your soil and increase the microorganism activity and the general health and life of your soil is going to help you avoid having summer patch issues down the line. Now, with all of these fungal diseases, you could always put down a fungicide. A lot of the fungicides out there are going to be preventative. You want to put them down before you see symptoms. This is because a lot of them work by basically putting a protective shield around your plant and not allowing any kind of these fungal diseases to get into the plant tissue and start to do damage. Some of the fungicides out there are also systemic. They'll go into your grass plant and protect it from the inside out. These will stop current infestations in their tracks, but none of these products will reverse damage that's already been done. So if you want to avoid all of these summer lawn disease issues, you could put down a fungicide, say in late May or early June, when the weather conditions are ripe for these lawn diseases to take hold, but before you actually see any kind of symptoms present on your lawn. This is a great way to avoid these issues. It can get a bit costly, especially if you have a large lawn, but one great product out there is called Headway. This is a granular fungicide, and it's very easy to put down. Just need a spreader. Not that expensive if you have a smaller lawn or a normal size city lot. Great way to avoid any kind of disease issues. I would recommend this if you've had a lot of disease issues in the past and want to avoid this and not deal with those issues this coming year. And the last one that I see all the time recently is Ascochyta blight. This is a very common lawn disease that you see every single year, and it is very easy to identify. Basically, it's going to look like herbicide burn or drought stress. So what you're going to see is after you mow your lawn, all your mow lines where your tires were will just be straight lines of dead-looking turf, tan-colored turf. It's going to look just like I sprayed herbicide on your lawn mower tires and it caused a bunch of damage on your lawn. This is a classic symptom of Ascochyta blight. Now, with this disease, I wouldn't do anything. I would just make sure that I'm maintaining proper watering, make sure my mower blades are sharp, and if you want, you can clean down your mower after you move out of the affected areas so that you don't spread it around. But this disease does not last very long. It's probably only about 2 weeks, and you won't even notice that it was there. Your lawn will just grow it out, and your lawn will, again, look just like it did before you got infected with this disease. Purely cosmetic, lasts only a couple weeks. Don't worry about it. It just looks really, really bad as it's going on. All right, so here's the good news. Most lawn diseases do not mean that your lawn is doomed. And in fact, many of them improve dramatically when you just focus on the basics: proper watering, proper mowing, proper fertilizing, and trying to reduce stress on your grass and your soil. If you've got some weird patches going on in your lawn right now, let me know down in the comments, and hopefully we can figure it out together and I can point you in the right direction. If you are looking for more lawn care tips, this is Tommy's Turf Talks. I'm pulling for you.